my thing. Hey y'all, good evening. I'm gonna have to put my thing behind my phone. This little piece to protect it because it be getting hot if I don't do that. But I don't like it because then it makes the video dark. Y'all, I ain't even gonna be on here long. I'm not gonna be on here long. I look a hot mess. That's why I got on my glasses, some sunglasses. I'm literally just in the house cleaning. But y'all, like, people really, really bother me. You were supposed to be going to play, so go play. Ain't nothing in here. Go play. This thing behind my phone, y'all. Oh, it's dark, but it's not. This thing sits in my car, my stabilizer, and it'll make my phone. It like by sitting in the window, it make my phone real hot. So, y'all, people. So, people bother me. They work a nerve in my being that I'm trying to learn how to just not let people get under my skin. But some things really get under my skin. Like, some things just really gets under my skin, and it's a very bad pet peeve of mine. And I don't know if that's because I have like 20 years of customer service, if I was raised around raised by like mainly by my grandmother and like around older people. I don't know if that's the case, but I do not like people who don't have phone etiquette. It bothers me. Like, it's a huge pet peeve of mine for people, not even phone etiquette, for people who don't have professionalism. That's the word. It really bothers me. And it's not like a professionalism where you have to have, like, how they say, the professional voice and different things like that, which I thought that everybody had that. But I'm learning that some people don't even have that. But like when you call in to handle your bills or whatever, like, you have a voice. Like when you call in to handle your business, you have a voice, a business. You like, when I was growing up, when you go into your mama room, and she's sitting down there with her notebook, and she got her pen or whatever, and she said, and she on the phone, but her tone and her voice is different, to like be quiet, because that she's obviously handling business because of the tone of her voice and how she's talking. Okay, so I didn't even tell y'all about something that happened. It was like a couple of weeks ago. It's this bug on okay, flew away. Like, it's this bug on this window, and I am scared. So it was something that happened a couple of weeks ago while I was at Kroger. And so I'm at Kroger, and I had some money orders to cash. And so I had some money orders to cash that I had got from you know family, I guess, family friend from out of town for me and CJ's birthday. But I just had never I never cashed them or whatever. So I'm like, let me go ahead and cash these money orders, because I don't know like when they expire, whatever. Like, I ain't got time for it to be no riffraff. And so I had got them. I've been having them like ever since July, but I just cashed them. And so I'm in the customer service line, and I'm like, waited till it was my turn. I'm like, yes, I have two money orders to cash, and then I'm just going to, well, I have two money orders to cash. I have two money orders to cash, and so the lady's like she does her eyes, like I have my glasses on because I look a mess. But she's like she's like that, like okay, like that. And then she took like the money orders like from my hand, like okay. And she was like, and I'm like, is it a problem? Like, you doing all of this? Like, is it a problem? Do you guys? Sorry, I didn't. Do you guys cash money orders? The money order is from Kroger. Do you guys cash money orders? I'm talking to her. Yes, we do, but hold on. Like, so now that's the how I'm talking now. And so she asked somebody. I don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. That's probably Tristan's school. I might talk about that on here too, because people really get on to my like, ugh. So she's like, we do, but, and so she turns to a chick, like an older black lady. And I guess she asked her about the money order. Like, she whispered to her, like she went over there with her and like whispered, so I couldn't hear. And then the lady, like, she's at the other window and she just looks over like this and she's like, yeah, we cash them, but it's gonna be $4.50. And I'm like, okay. And then the lady is getting ready to bring it back to me, like she was getting ready to slide me back the money orders. And I'm like, I didn't say that was a problem. Like, hey, Nick, I'm like, I didn't say that was a problem. Like, just go ahead and cash them, because like I'm here. If I don't cash them here, I'm probably not gonna cash them. And that's over $100 is about to just, y'all about to be giving me the runaround saying I got expired money orders. So we don't even want to get to that. So yeah, just go ahead and cash them. Like, I'm already here, whatever. And she's like, okay, And so now she's, she was like, well, I need your, she was like, well, I need your ID, and like it's gonna be a minute because I first have to call and make sure they're that they haven't been used and they're not cashed. And I'm like, well, you already see that I got the stuff attached to them and everything. I haven't even tore the little receipt thing off because I just wanted to keep everything together. And so I'm like, okay, do whatever you gotta do. If that's what you gotta do whatever you gotta do. And so she's over there, getting ready to use the phone. And, just something in my spirit. Like, I'm not a conversational person. I'm a person who really don't say anything. For one, like, I consider myself a huge introvert. You guys already know, like, I have crowd anxiety. I've talked about before. All of those different things. And now it's a line behind me. And now it's a line behind me because now, she got to call the customer service and all of that.
Mommy,
and so
Ada got a talkie.
Aiden, don't you eat that.
He's a lotion.
Don't you eat that. Hold on. Don't you eat that. I'm gonna get him. He always playing with me because he know he learns the stuff, and he gonna give it to Maya. He know he can't have it. Quit playing with me. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so hey, Living Large. So the lady, she's over there getting ready to call, the Western Union or whatever it is, MoneyGram, one of those, Western Union or MoneyGram. She getting ready to call them. I am doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you today? So she getting ready to call them to make sure the money orders ain't been cashed and all of that stuff. And so while she's doing that, like, something just, like I said, it just wasn't sitting well with me. and it was like I needed to correct, check, whatever the term is for it. But oh girl, like, so since she over there busy with the I'm okay, bit tired, but thank God, I know that's right. So the one lady who's helping me, she goes to call the place. The other lady who was like, it's gonna be $4.50, and all of that, like she's over at the other window. So I'm like, I, took my head over like this, like, peekaboo, woohoo. Yeah, how you doing today? She like, I'm good or whatever. Like, still like that, like very aggressive. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I actually don't remember the last time I even cashed a money order. And like I wasn't giving the lady no kind of whatever, she said give her a second, and I don't know what you guys talked about, but basically how you came to me was wrong. Like you were very loud, like I'm just a customer trying to, at the customer service desk, it's a money order from Kroger, trying to get a service render and get the money order cashed or whatever. Like I don't understand why you were so like boisterous and like very loud. And because like when she said that to like it's gonna be $4.50, like everybody like that was like on the side of me was like, because she was so loud, like it was probably 7 people, because the line was going this way. It was like probably 7 people, and like even that last person heard her tell me it was gonna be $4.50 per money order. And so she was like, listen, I wasn't trying to be no kind of way. Only thing I did was tell you the price. And I'm like, but that's what I'm saying right there. Like that, it's not about what you said. It's your tone, and it's the level of how it's the level of your tone. It's the level of your voice and how you talking to me. Like, I don't like how you're speaking to me. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, if you took it that way. But like I said, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm a customer, you're not even apologizing to me, right? To say if I took it that way, it's not that if I took it that way, is that you actually did it. Well, like I said, I mean, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, ma'am? And I'm like, okay, so I see that you want to have the last word, but like to reiterate reiterate what I said, I'm a customer. Obviously I don't like the way you spoke to me, so you could just say, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, like I was actually busy with something. People have no respect for others these days. It sickens me, bothers me, gets underneath my skin, makes me so yeah, 100%. Like, so I'm like, so that's what you do. Like, you should have said, hey, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like, I was actually busy and she asked me about a price. So I'm sorry if I, like, was talking, like that I did talk too loud or whatever. I just was taken off guard because I actually was busy with something else, and left it at that. But it's like, so it's like people that's behind me is on, like, this one girl was on the phone and she's like, because I guess the person had asked what was going on, and she was like, the customer service lady, you could hear her say the customer service lady was like real loud at the girl, and like even if she's saying like she wasn't wrong, like she arguing with the customer, because now at this point, like, she's trying to argue, like basically tell me that I'm wrong and she can't basically help how I feel. I said, okay, so I see that you trying to like argue, and this definitely wasn't meant to be an argument, because I don't even argue. Like, this is not meant to be an argument, but this is just meant to be like, to tell you like this is not how you speak to a customer. And but I see that you want the last word, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it. And then she was like, yeah, ma'am, like I said, and she went on to do it again. And like at this point, I just ignored her and was waiting for the chick to come back from calling the money order in. So she's like, okay, yeah, the money orders ain't been cashed or whatever, and she went ahead and cashed my money orders. And so I go shopping, because I'm in Kroger. So I go grocery shopping. I'm in a grocery store for probably about maybe 30 to 40 minutes. And I goes to check out. When I goes to check out, I guess somebody must have had left there for
Takis.
No, you can have Cheetos, no Takis.
I don't want no Cheetos.
Oh, okay, we already went through this. So I guess like somebody else like that. I guess they lost their phone or they lost something or whatever, and they had came to the customer service desk, and the same lady is like, "Yeah, you left your stuff here. Yeah, I got it right here." The customer service lady, and I'm like, so then at that moment, I said, "Wow, like I guess she wasn't meaning to come off the way she came off, and how I took it." And I'm like, wow, that's really how this lady talk. Like, this is really how this lady talk. And then I'm like, you every bit of in your 50s. At what stage in your life do you say, I'm always getting taken wrong? Like, I'm always getting taken like that. I'm trying to start an argument with people. Like the tone of which, you know, my inside voice that I was supposed to learn in kindergarten. Like, I've never, I've never talked that way. Maybe because all of my family talk loud, but I've seen this has been a big problem in my life. Maybe I should just try to to adjust my tone. Like me, I talk very fast naturally. And it's something that I talk, this is my natural, like, this ain't my natural talk. I'm talking slower, and it's probably still fast. But it sounds really, really slow in my ears because I know this is not the natural speed of my speech. But I know people can't understand me. My family can because they've been hearing me talk like this for all my life. But a lot of people who don't talk fast cannot understand what I'm saying. And so I know that. And when I'm excited, I'm just going to talk fast. I can't slow it down. But it's something that I'm aware of. And I try to slow down my speech so people can understand me. And that's just a part of self improvement, self growth. That's a part of if I ever want to speak into an arena or some rooms, like, I need to learn how to control my speech at the speed. So speed and tone of your speech is what impacts the delivery of your speech. It's what lets people know you just said a joke because you didn't speed past it too fast. It gives people the pace of which you're trying to go. Imagine having accent. Most don't understand me. That not on my own culture, but I learned to let people be. Yeah. And I mean, like, I spoke before about how, like, I went to a different school every year, and growing up in the projects and all of that stuff, my mom, like, she wanted to just experience better. So we moved to a different side of town, which was way more than she could afford. So we did end up getting evicted, but she wanted me to experience a different culture. And so we went to, like, the outskirts. We moved somewhere called Speedway, Indiana. It's still Indianapolis, but they don't want to be known as Indianapolis, so they just say I live in Speedway, Indiana. So we moved to Speedway, Indiana, and Speedway, Indiana, like, I had to walk to school or catch the city bus to school. They don't have school systems. It's very small. I opened it. It's very small, and it's all white. Like, it was only 3 black people in the whole school, and I was one of them. And so me coming from the ghetto where everybody talk fast, everybody talk with slang, everybody talk like how I'm talking, like that, like that's my natural talk. But when I went to that school, people did not even understand what I was saying. Like, even the teachers did not understand what I was saying. Like, even far as I took a shower. Like, a shower, what's a shower? Because I used to say shower. And then I said shower. And so I had to start saying shower. I had to start saying just a lot of different words I had to start pronouncing because they literally was be like, what did you say? Like, we don't understand what you're saying. And it was slang. It was slang. It was just how we talk. We lazy with our words. So even me saying talk is like, what talk? Like, you mean talk? Like, they did not understand. So they would always, like, correct me. And so it had me, like, have to talk really proper. And it made me start saying like a lot because I guess that's how my mind started taking a second to think about the word that I was going to say. And now I say like a lot that, and I don't even know that I'm saying that. It's just now that's how I talk. Like everything got blended up all together. So when I'm talking to like just like my regular family or people, you know, in Indianapolis, they saying, where you from? And I'm like, here, born and raised. They like, you talk with an accent. And I also had lived in Atlanta when I was 6 with my dad. I lived in Atlanta. And so, like, you know, Atlanta is real country. And I used to be like, here, we going here. And my dad used to be like, don't talk like that. Like, no, like, don't talk like that. Please don't get this accent. Like, please don't get this accent, you know, and like all of that. But I was going to school with all the kids down in kindergarten, all the kids talking like that. That ended up being some of my how I pronounced words too. So now I have Georgia pronunciation of how they, you know, country and talk with they words and like kind of drag out they words. Then I had the cracks of the ghetto, how we just blend everything. We not gonna end no word right. Like everything gonna end off at like it's just not, we're not gonna pronounce every syllable of a word. And then I have going to a all white school where it's just 3 black people and they have never been in no kind of ghetto. Like even though Speedway is literally like 40 minutes away from me, they don't even know like what like poverty is. Like them kids didn't know like nothing like that. So like how I went to school, you had to have on Jordans, you had to have on the Norris stuff, like your hair had to be done or you was gonna be talked about, like all of that stuff. When I went to that school, it's like they walking around in t-shirts that say like the logo of the school and like sweatpants and stuff. And I'm like, this is how they dress? Like, did they just get out of gym or something? Like, where is they real clothes at? And it was just they hair was like in a messy bun and stuff, and it was like they didn't care about that, you know. They cared about like learning and stuff. They didn't care about the appearance. And Jordans, like nobody had on Jordans. Like it was the white guys and stuff, blonde hair, blue eyes, they wore like regular thong sandal flip-flops. It was just a completely different culture. And then I'm sitting there and the teacher's like, okay, well, you do all your work, so we know you understand your work, like you very good. And I got honor roll there and everything, but I had stopped talking for a little bit there. They had wanted me to participate more like in class discussions, but I didn't want to participate because everybody would just be like, what? Or they would just start laughing. Or when I used to say like something like, yeah, like I had to get together because I didn't want to be dusty. And they like, what is dusty? Like what? And they would like crack up laughing. They didn't know what that term meant. Like, so a lot of like terms I would use, dusty, shower, like they did not know what that stuff meant. And so they just were like, what did you just say? What does that mean? And so I just really stopped talking because I'm like, they don't even know what the heck I'm saying. But that was definitely a learning experience. That was definitely a learning experience. But you know, I'm mindful now of all of that stuff. I'm mindful that I'm a little bit country. I'm probably a lot of country because my great grandparents and all that is from Tennessee. And so I've had people come on my channel like, girl, I know you from the South. You know, I know you from the South. And it's like, I am not from the South. I'm from Indianapolis, but I just got, I guess, a Southern accent, but I can't hear it. Okay, so, but yeah, I'm just like, you at some age, you got to know that you have an inside voice, you have an outside voice. Unless you are physically like handicap and like you just like you don't like your inner ear or something like that is messed up, your ears, you know, where you can't hear yourself, that of course you will talk, you know, in a different tone. Oh, you from Tennessee? Hey, I love country. You girl. I know that's right. Thank you. I've never been. Maybe she hard of hearing. That's what I'm like. I'm like, maybe she's hard of hearing. And like, but instead of her now taking to probably go get that fix to say, I think I have a hearing problem, because If I said something and I'm not a person who says something, I'm sure if she's talked like that to people who are extroverted, to people who are confrontational, I'm sure she's been running into an issue her whole life of people saying she talks too loud. And she's has made it a point now in her 50s to say, you took it however you wanted to take it. That's not how, whatever, and that's on you. And it's like, no, like, get it together. Because my mother that way, but hasn't always been. Oh, like, talk loud. Do your mother talk loud? So I'm like, when I heard her say that to the guy who had lost something or whatever, it was a customer service, I just was like, at that moment, but stop, maybe she doesn't have money to fix it. Girl, pass loud. I mean, I'm not gonna give her no excuse. Now, like, because I have loud cousins and they loud and like, and they have been like, like my grandma be like, girl, you ain't gotta be, you just loud everywhere you go. And like, I'm sorry, this how I've been my whole life. And they kiki and they just laugh it off. And so, but we know they loud, like listen, I got a loud family. Like, I know people are loud. I think it was just her reaction. Yeah, I ain't giving her no benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving her no benefit of the doubt because the reason why I'm not giving her any benefit of the doubt is because she was not talking to her family members and she was not in a personal setting. That's why I'm not giving her benefit of the doubt. She was working behind the desk in customer service. And so if you have a problem like where you talk loud, where you're outside the normal whatever, like I talk fast. If somebody say, excuse me, I can hear what you said. Sorry. I talk fast. I'm so sorry. And I slow it down. And like, that's how I would, apologize to a customer. I will reiterate and I would, slow down my speech. I have been told I talk fast my entire life, even working in 20 years of customer service. They, hold on, hun, I can't hear you. You got to talk slower, Yeah, so it's like the ignorance is bliss. So it's like you got Medicaid. So I don't think you ever got it checked because like I know that I'm not the only person who said something to you because I don't say nothing to anybody. So like now you should be like, oh, I'm sorry, hun. Like I have, an inner ear problem. And maybe you don't want to keep on telling people what's wrong, but when you in customer service, like you should, oh, sorry, I got a hearing problem, so I don't even know how loud I'm speaking. But I don't even think it was the loud part. It was the face, it was the demeanor, it was the when somebody's just it's gonna be. And then like I said, the other lady was getting ready to hand me back my money orders. So now you must have already told her, she can go somewhere else. Like whatever conversation y'all had in private, you can tell when it came to public of you talking to me, I got all of that energy. So I don't even think it was the loud tone. It was the whole, your professionalism is off and your attitude is off. Like your attitude is off. And then I believe she was interrupted again because the person, like I think the little sheriff and stuff had told the guy that they did have his lost item in customer service. So I think she was interrupted again when he was coming to get his stuff out of customer service. Like, yeah, you lost your stuff. Yeah, here it go. And it's like, you should have just called in sick today. Like, just don't even come in today. Or just say, hey, the 30 minutes y'all paying me for, I'm taking an hour today for lunch. Like, I need a break before I snap on every customer that come in. In customer service, you have to do that kind of thing. So she ain't getting no benefit of the doubts because it wasn't one time, it was 2 times. And it's just like, like my teenagers say, it was cringy. Okay, so now let's go to me having to check my son's school today. Like, let's go into that. I'm like, what is going on with people? So let's go into that. So my allergy baby, he was coughing all night. Like, y'all probably still hear him coughing in the background because my door is open. So he was coughing all night. My teenager, he came home and like he went straight to bed, and he got up like around 10, and he was saying his throat hurt, like had hurt so bad or whatever that he could barely talk. And I had made him some tea, and then he had went back to sleep, or I told him to go drink some tea, and then he had just laid back down and went back to sleep. And then my other baby, he was coughing too. Like, he started coughing once he got up. So I was like, okay, so I guess ain't nobody going to school or daycare today. We're going to go get COVID tested. Like, I don't have no symptoms or nothing, but I'm around them. I don't know if they have something. School didn't start back. Masks are not mandatory at school. Ain't nobody wearing no mask at school. No teachers, nobody wearing no mask. So now, it's highly populated, and COVID is back on the rise. So I'm like, okay, let me go get them tested before they go back to school tomorrow, in daycare, because I don't want to send them and it's a possibility they can have COVID. And so we went, so I went and got them tested. It came back negative for all of us, thank God. So none of us got COVID. I got the printout for everybody's school, in a daycare, said, negative, so I could take it up to schools. Take it up to schools tomorrow, in daycare tomorrow, when I'm dropping everybody off, because I'm transportation right now for my kids until buses get figured out and everybody goes to somewhere different. So I do 4 drop-offs and 4 pickups every day. So I get a call. So I get the call from the attendance line, saying that, that one of my kids was absent from school today. And I'm like, okay. So the attendance line is like automated. So I'm like, okay, I know that. So I'm like, press the little button. Yes, he's absent. Then like around 3, because I was getting ready to lay down. I wanted to take a nap. Like, I just wanted to take a nap. I get a call from... Thank you so much. Thank you so much, London. So I get a call from the social worker at school, at one of my kids' school, at 3:00. The social worker. I don't get no calls from no social workers. So I got a call from the social worker at my son's school, like, hey, yes, this is the social worker from so and so school. We see that your son was absent today. And we have another time where he was absent, like earlier this month. And it wasn't marked, like it was a no call, and he was absent today, and it was a no call or whatever. And so we're very concerned because, it's the school just started the 1st of this month, and he's already been absent twice. And so we were very concerned about that. Lord. Why don't you homeschool them and take them out of school? So my oldest, he was homeschooled for 2 years. And I'm debating about it. It's really just me trying to, because homeschooling takes a lot of work. Like, it's a lot because your kids, like, don't go anywhere. They're homeschooled. And so me trying to just get everything balanced out, because it's only me, and really me just needing some more money, because really with homeschooling, you do need like a tutor or something, especially with all my kids in different grades. So like my high schooler, like he, it's like undivided attention with all the work he got. So I'm playing around with it. You should not debate. Yes, they can go plenty places. Well, that's a bit much. It's just a couple days. Geesh. Right. So, right. That's what I'm saying too, London. So she called. Uh I said, well, I have been homeschooling my son since COVID hit. I love it. He'll never go back to public school. Oh no, you don't need a tutor. I'm homeschooling all mine. Yeah, I think I wouldn't think you need a tutor. Like the school just really gives me my mental break, and it gives them time to have like their own things too. So, and with homeschooling, what I learned from homeschooling my oldest for 2 years, you really have to be organized. Like, you really have to have things together. And when it comes to just organization, me planning out some time to still have my mental break because I don't get any help or anything like that. And it's like just them basically seeing each other all the time. Like summer, they was ready to go back to school just to get a little break from each other. And so just balancing out all of that. So my little one, I think my oldest one, I probably keep them in school. My little ones, I might end up homeschooling them, especially my allergy baby. But right now he's in school and he absolutely loves school. So you know, I haven't been led back yet to feel like to take them out. But if it starts sparking up to where I'm like, this feeling back in my gut, oh yeah, trust me, they'd be pulled out. They'd be pulled back out of school. So she's like, so yes, we were just real very concerned. And I was like, y'all was concerned for him missing 2 days in the whole month, and they not even close by each other. It's not even 2 consecutive days. It's just 2 days. And she was like, yeah, well, like I seen that he was absent. I think it was like the fifth. And she was like, and you didn't call. And I was like, well, yeah, I actually did call. I was like, I don't know what the lady name was in the office, but I said, the name. And and she said, ask what grade. I told her the grade. I told her his teacher, and she was like, okay, I got it down. So I guess she never put it in you guys' system. I said, but even the case being like, it, I said, well, I'm trying to remember how I said it to her. I said, well, um, I pulled my daughter when she became unhappy in mainstream, but she was almost 15, so most of the work was done. I didn't regret it though. She's doing really well at college now, and it's just so much easier. Yes, and they said like kids who are homeschooled do so much better in college because they learn better um studying skills and different things like that. So yeah, if you homeschool, I'm sure she's doing excellent in college. So I told her, I said, well, yeah, I said it. I said I didn't know that they had social workers call because the child missed one day of school. Like he missed a day of school. I said, and I was going to come up to the school tomorrow and bring the paperwork that we went and got tested for COVID. I said, thankfully he does not have it. I said, but she was like, yeah, it's just because once it start, they give problem. Yeah, I got so sick of them rules. When your child is unhappy, it's not worth it. It's definitely not. So I was like, and I didn't know like it was a big issue. Like I would like it seemed like basically your job, I would think that you would be calling if my child was coming to school dirty, hungry, or something like that, not because he missed today. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, it's just because it's the beginning of the school year. And so usually when a child already missed like a day or two towards the beginning, like, they start missing a lot of days of school and different things like that. And like, we just don't want that to happen. And all of that. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, first, I guess I got to tell you kind of what kind of parent I am. I said, I have children who have, when they get sick, it turns into bronchitis. I have children with a lot of allergy issues and different things like that. I said, myself have gotten COVID-19 last month with my older son. We both got COVID-19 last month. I said, we are in the middle of a pandemic. The COVID numbers are back rising up. I said, so what kind of parent I am is if my children are coughing all night long, if my children wake up with a stomach ache, if the rules are going crazy now, these kids of ours are doing great. Love, care for clean, tidy. Yes, and what they want. Right. Public school system, they just about money and don't learn what they need. Exactly. Because I'm like, my kid had to tell me that y'all didn't even, y'all air had messed up in school and he was so hot. And I'm like, what? Like, it's 2022. Like, why are y'all still having air hit issues when it's 90 degrees? Like, so I was like, anytime my kid is coughing, sneezing out mucus, stomach hurting, or anything like that, we are in the middle of a pandemic. And so all of these symptoms could be something serious and not just, oh, they'll get over it. Some of these symptoms could be they have COVID, and then I'm not going to intentionally bring my kids to school knowing that they probably should have got tested. I'm not going to allow my kids to get anybody else kids infected. But I know that's what a lot of parents do. Like, my kids get sick from parents bringing their kids to school sick. And so that's just what kind of parent I am. Like, even daycare be like, boy, you don't play. Like, you the only parent who kind of got some sense. These other parents, we got to call them, and they child be vomiting and all kind of stuff, and they still don't want to come and get their child. Like, you don't even bring your child, like, to daycare or nothing if they feeling a little bit too ill. No, we gonna go. I'm gonna call a peds doctor. I'm gonna call, we gonna go get COVID tested, like, cause we're not vaccinated, but I've still literally been COVID tested probably like every 4 to 6 months since COVID started. Like, I'm just like, we all go and get COVID tested. Like, that is just like, right now, I feel like that's part of a wellness check, like everything else. If you go get checked this, because my kids are asymptomatic, like, I'm gonna still get them COVID tested because they don't have symptoms. Like, and then the symptoms I have is not like your normal symptoms. So it's just part of a wellness check now to me to go get COVID tested. I said, so I just want to let you know, like, I'm not gonna promise you on this phone that my child's not gonna miss any more days, because my children are more like sickly, like their immune system is kind of lower just due to, like, they don't really be around a whole bunch of kids and all of that stuff. So true. Loads of that is going on. Wait, they drop them off sick and run. Right. And go call them. Right. Yes, they do. They drop them off sick and they run. Kid be got a headache, sleep all through the class, vomiting, all that stuff, and they will drop their kids off so quick and don't answer that phone because they know that the daycare or the school is calling to pick up their kids. But it's because these jobs too, like, these jobs are not like single parent friendly either. So even though we in the midst of, like, I promise 75% of my timeline is getting COVID now. Like, everybody's like, oh, tested positive for COVID. Like, so I know the numbers, like, even if you, like, looking at people on YouTube, like, it's so many YouTubers like, yep, I had COVID, I got COVID. You like, so the numbers are going back up. And I'm like, I don't send my kids to school when they're sick in any kind of way. I'm going to go get everything situated and then they'll be back at school, because my kids have bronchitis issues. They have, different kind of allergy issues and all kind of stuff. So for me to allow, like, a sickness to be like, oh, they fine, it'll go away. Like, no, that could send my kids to the hospital. Like, parents who bring their kids to school ill and stuff like that, when my kids having lung issues, like, can take my kids out. But I told her, I said, but how you calling me over 2 absences lets me know that y'all priority is to have the kid there over them even being sick. So I'm sure it's a lot of kids coming to that school sick, and that's why my baby is coming home coughing and all of that stuff, because he wasn't coughing and doing all this before school started. I'm like, he wasn't coughing and doing all this before school started. So that lets me know that that's the priority y'all putting over there. And attendance, I also want to let you know, a school attendance is not a priority for me. It's not a priority for me when it's stacked up against my kids' health. Right. The truth, it's the right thing to do. Health first. You can't get more caring than that. They barking up the wrong tree. They was barking up the wrong tree. So then she did. After all of that, after I had to tell her what kind of parent I am, I don't care nothing about your attendance. And I said, and then if that's an issue for y'all, I've homeschooled before. I'll take my kids out of school and they'll just be homeschooled. I'll get everything set up for them to be homeschooled before I allow you or a school force me to bring my kids to school sick. Or if the numbers, I said, if the numbers start rising up too much, my kids gonna be out of school. And y'all should be hopeful that the school don't get closed down, because y'all about to probably be going back to e-learning because the numbers are getting so high here. And she was like, yeah, true. She was like, well, we have a well, just for future reference, we do have like a nurse practitioner that's like, for the actual hospitals, but like they have to go to this school. And like a lot of the parents will just have their kids come here because they can just go see the nurse practitioner here, and all of that or whatever. They don't dictate the play. They just think they do. they definitely think they do, but they don't over here. Like, before y'all put any rules on me, I'm like a whole different kind. I will get some freaking what's the passport so quick, and me and my kids will be in a whole other country. I'll go register some downtown and say we part of Native American thing, and my kids don't. Like, please don't poke Mama Bear. Please don't poke Mama Bear. I go get all kind of paperwork on y'all. We indigenous, this, that, all kind of paperwork. Don't stick my kid with this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Oh, we got this kind of holiday. Oh yeah, we just got sworn into this. Our religion don't even go to school but one day a week. Like, listen, it's some kind of religion that's over everything. I'll go get us sworn in quick before y'all try to put some stipulations on me, honey, because that's what the other people do. They got all kind of stuff, We part of this tribe and this tribe, which we is. Don't let me pull up some ancestry.com on y'all. But she was like, yeah, so a lot of parents just drop their kids off here to our nurse practitioner and all of that stuff. And I said, well, that definitely won't work for me. I said, she's like, oh, but yeah, you have other children. They wouldn't be able to come here. I said, exactly. I said, I know, like, as their mother, I have my own steps of what I do. And so what I do is, we're going to go get tested for COVID. If the COVID test come back negative, my kids are still whatever, then I'm going to assign them into their peds doctor. Their peds doctor has been their peds doctor since I gave birth to them. And so she knows their whole entire history. She was tribe girl. Well, my great aunt said we was part of the Blackfoot tribe, so I'm about to be pulling up. We part of the Blackfoot tribe. I do have Native American in my blood. I don't know how far down that bloodline is, but we gonna pull it up. We're gonna get that little paperwork signed up, and so now, honey, we don't even have no social security number. We got a that little barcode thing. We just got a barcode. Oh, you can't scan the barcode? Okay, well, we not in y'all system. We don't even have to be in y'all system, so, honey, listen, when this brain start to work, people be like, how you find out about that? Listen, how you do that? It's all kind of paperwork. You got that straight, lady. No, right. Stay in your lane, school lady. Exactly, sweet. Stay in your lane. She needed to stay. So it's like, that was, for one, like CPS, social work, all of that. Like, that comes with my kids. When that stuff come with my kids, that mean y'all poking Mama Bear. Do you be reading too much? You like me? Read. I'll be on Google. I that's all I do. Like, That's why people can't even say what I'm reading, because it might be anything. Like I might be learning about anything. I don't, I'm gonna read my Bible, but I'm gonna read the Quran. Like I study everything. Like so I'm gonna take every bit of whatever and then do what worked for me. I'm gonna have my principles of like, okay, this is the principles. And like these people from other countries and stuff, they come here and they learn our system very quick. They learn our system very quick, and they kids, they don't never be in no system. But yeah, so it's like you poking mama bear. So I'm like, I said, well, that wouldn't work for me. My kids, they've been having the same pediatrician since they were born, and I just don't have one child. I have four. So I would take them if it was something, very serious, they would go to their pediatrician. And I said, you guys still wouldn't be called. So I still want you to know that, because if it's an emergency, if it's a huge concern, how you said it, this is an emergency, I'm going to call 911 before I call the school. His attendance, I want y'all to know, is not a priority to me. So if y'all ever see him absent on the list, like, just know now that you talk to me, just say, oh, she got it. Oh, she'll be in tomorrow with the note or whatever. Like, I just want you to know that for like future reference. Like, don't even call me. Don't you be dealing with that. That too. Oh, mama. Man. You feeling like that too. No, mama bear. Exactly. So, and she was like, okay, well, thanks for answering the phone and all of that and stuff. And she was like, and I'll put it in our notes and all of that. Or she was like, okay. She was like, and I said, yep, so I'll bring the list in. I said, I'll bring his stuff in tomorrow. I said, I'm actually going to come into the office, so I'll probably see you tomorrow and I'm going to bring it in. I said, so cause I do a few drop offs. So I'm going to drop him off at school, of course. So, he's always on time. He's always on time. And then I said that I'll swoop back around and I'm gonna come into the office and talk to you guys, because we going to get it nipped in the bud real quick. Real quick. Because it's so many kids out here that's actually getting abused, that only eat if they at school, that's actually stuff going on. And you taking the time out when attendance already called me and I already said he was absent and I got paperwork I'm going to bring in tomorrow and all of that. For now, you to take your time out to call me, you're not using your time wisely. I did get a letter about attendance from college once, and only once about attendance. I think it was regretted real quick. Yes, please don't come to me about attendance. Like, my kids, like, they health, because I just, with my allergy baby, and then like my older son, he had real bad allergies, so we was at the hospital a lot. And then like my other kids, they're pretty fine, but they still have like their bits and pieces. Go to rake some something like, then a kid dropped some napkins in the hallway. Y'all air was shutting out, so don't you need to be calling the district, the education department, to see where is the funding of why y'all air is still cutting out, and it was 90 degrees, and my son was like, Mom, it was so hot in school today, like, and I told him, if you ever that hot, tell them to call your mama. I'm gonna come pick you up. And then I end up having to call his teacher, and she was like, oh yeah, it was just one day or whatever, but we got it fixed. I said, listen, if it's ever hot in your classroom and your air pop comes out, put his homework in his book bag and call me. Like, call me. I will come and get my kid. I don't want my kids sitting in heat like that. Like, my kids cannot take heat like that. Do not have my kids sitting in heat like that. And so even like with the preschool, like my son preschool teacher, she's so wonderful and nice. And like, we already got it written down. Like, if it's more than 85 degrees outside, he cannot go outside. Like, all kind of stuff, because he has problems with his body regulating heat. And I'm like, if y'all ever have to go outside for any reason where you can't have him do an activity and it's that hot, call me. I will come and pick him up. Like, I am literally a phone call away. Like, Don't say she too busy. I will come and pick my child up. And so when I hung to her, I said, I just don't like people. Like, I just don't like people. I don't like people. And then what else happened? Oh, okay. So because I knew I had called the school. I knew I had called the school when he was absent on the 5th, but I couldn't quite remember because it was so long ago. I couldn't even remember that he was absent. And it was a spider web. I couldn't even remember that he was actually absent. And so after I got finished cleaning up my kitchen, I said, let me go through my notes and stuff, because if one is absent, don't point out no spritter in my eye, right? Well, you got the whole tree. Don't point out those. Exactly. You point out a splitter. You just, oh, we did this. Oh, so you can put down on a note that how much y'all care about kids attendance, that this is the guideline for that one. Y'all got way more issues. You staying busy, but you're not productive at all. You're just busy. Y'all got way bigger issues that y'all need to be worried about. Be careful, girl. And so I after I got finished cleaning up the kitchen and stuff or whatever, got off the phone with her. She's, oh, thank you, yeah, girl, cause you getting the wrong one. Y'all call me another time. I've been and had to Google up some lawyer about harassment. Cause it like lawyers here, they ready to make a name for themselves. They ready to make a name for themselves. Already got something pending for TikTok. Cause I'm trying to sue them. But I'm debating. I think I might let it go. But I had already had my stuff in the lawsuit before, like, now I didn't see it on TV, and I'm like, my case already been in a thing, but because it needs to be some restrictions there. But I might just whatever. I don't know about that. But that school, yeah, I'll be calling a lawyer. I will be calling a lawyer ASAP if y'all call me again about something crazy. Exactly. Strike one. And you don't get no 3 with the kids. You don't get no 3 strikes. So now the next time y'all do that, like, I have to go right into now doing what I gotta do, because you only get 1 strike when they deal with my kids. You only get 1 time to play with me. They get that one right. 1, 2, and you're out. They get that one. They don't get the second time. Is all the smoke coming. The second time they're gonna be like, well, we see that this, school is just fine. Like, our procedures is just not gonna work for you. So it's probably best for you to go to y'all gonna, like, it's gonna be that. Right. Yeah, not with the kids. You don't get nobody. No man, no nothing. Like, you got 1 time to look at my kids wrong, say a joke that's not funny about my kids. You got 1 time. Like, you only got 1 time. Exactly. You getting a whole mama bear. And so I went through my notes. And that's when I had went through, like, and I saw the daycare stuff, and they would say, how my baby was coughing and all that. I said, okay, that was around the same time. And then I had notes, and I went in my call log, and I seen that I had called. I'm like, let me, search the number, and I see that I had called his school and all that. So I went to call her back to say, yes, and I spoke with so-and-so, and you guys, like, I took time out to call on the 5th and to say that he wasn't going to be at school today, and she wrote down everything and then put it in the system. So I got to go up to the school tomorrow to make sure that they correct that, and then to also let them know I did my part. So when y'all have, like, y'all attendance thing is off. Like, so now your system that you're getting is wrong information, because the lady did, when she got off the phone with me and she hung up the phone, she didn't do the next step. She must have got back on the phone with somebody else. She might have went to lunch. She might have, whatever she did, but she didn't do the other steps that she needed to do to put into y'all system. And so when I'll be up at the school tomorrow, like, I literally have already been up to this school so many times. about my child. He was getting bullied at first. I had to go talk to the principal. uh I had to make some demands and all kind of stuff, because listen, my son, he a fighter. He love to fight. Yes, correction, thank you. Can I have a copy? Exactly. And can I have a copy? And did you write down that you spoke to me yesterday? Okay, can I have a copy of that? So, yep. So it's like when I had to go up there about him being bullied, because he a fighter, and he said that he was going to do good this year. He wasn't going to fight. He was going to listen, and he was going to follow directions and all of that stuff. And so he hasn't been fighting. He been following directions, and then he started getting bullied. So I let the principal know. I said, so, when I had to go up to the school, I went to the school. I said, nah, I ain't about to call them, because they gonna say, oh, I'll take a message and all that. No. And so when I went there, like, oh, did you have a meeting with him set up? No. Oh, I think he's busy. Okay, I'll wait, because this needs to be handled. I'm not leaving this office until this is handled. And okay, and so they got him on a little walkie-talkie thing for him to go, oh yeah, the mother is still waiting. I'm still waiting. Like, he gonna leave a parent waiting in his office? I'm still waiting. And but yeah, I just want y'all to know, and then you might need to let his mother know as well, that I have authorized my son to fully defend himself. And he has been authorized to fully defend himself. We don't bully people in my household, and we don't get bullied in this household. So he was trying to be nice and follow and listen to what I said about not being a bully, but now he's being bullied. And so when you talk to the parent, since the parent can't come down here too, you need to let her know that when her son come home and say this little boy then drug him through the classroom, don't let her get mad, because he's been bullying my son every single day to the point where he don't want to come to school. And I'm making notes that I'm talking to you as the principal and informing you what's going on. And so my son will not be suspended when he dragged this little boy through the classroom. Because if he be suspended after he has been being bullied, I'm going to have to call a lawyer and say that y'all are punishing victims. And I'm gonna have to go and call the news and Rafael Sanchez, and then talk about how my son was bullied for a whole week, and that little boy got to pass by. And when my son defended himself, y'all suspended him, and now you guys are punishing the victims. Nice, because if you don't, they take extreme liberties. He's defending himself. Yeah. So he so I had to go through all that. So they knew I wasn't playing. I sit in that vice principal office for like probably like 30-40 minutes, and we talked about, okay, so what do you want to happen to the little boy, all that stuff. I need consequences, because what he has stepped over the line to do is assault. So he's actually assaulted my son. He's actually assaulted my first grader. And yeah, it just don't go like you gotta advocate for your kids. If you don't advocate for your kids, who gonna advocate for them? And these schools will do whatever. Let me roll up this window because my nose is starting to itch. And so when I call up back to the school today to say that, I got the paperwork or whatever. I'll start my car. Turn this air on because my nose is itching because the weather changing. So when I call it back up to the school to say, that I had the time stamp and all of that, and when I did call him in, funny thing about school, they look the other way with ours getting bullied, but so as they take a stand, they didn't like it. Exactly. As soon as you take a stand, they don't like it. Nope. They definitely look the other way. They like, oh, we don't see it, because I'm like, he's getting majorly bullied by this one boy. Like, where is the teacher to where this amount of extreme stuff could be going on? Like, where is the teacher? Like, I drop my kids off here and I expect for them to be safe. And when I looked through all of my information, I was gonna call her back with the timestamps, but a lady answered the front office like, uh, no, she's like, hold on, what? Like, that's what she said. Like, I'm like, oh yes, can I talk to the social worker? Like, I was calling back to talk to the social worker. I'm like, can I talk to the social worker? And she's like, for what will you need her for? I said, well, I mean, I didn't think it was your concern, but I had already talked to her probably like 30 minutes ago. We hung up and she was unclear about something, so I needed to call back to clear up some things. And she's like, no, it's hot in here. It's hot in here. I don't want you to come in here. It's hot.
It's a rocket.
No, it's hot. I gotta cool it off. So I'm like, and she's like, I said, so I was calling to, clarify some things with her. And I guess she didn't hear the last part of what I said. And she's like, huh, what? What did you say? And I was like, I was calling to clarify some things with her. And she's like, oh, she was like, yeah, she's not in her office right now or whatever. So yeah, you're gonna have to call back or something. And I'm like, I will just give you guys a call back tomorrow, or I'll actually be up to the school tomorrow, so I'll just speak with her then. And she's like, all right, basically, and hang up. And like that, I'm like, when is it okay to say what? Like, when is it okay to say, huh, what you say? You're in a whole office. I don't care if that is a school office. Like, why are you speaking like that to a parent? And why are you saying, well, she ain't, like, why are you speaking like that? Need to know basis. Exactly. It's like, what can you do? Like, I need to talk to her about something. No, it's like, I need to talk to her about something. You the front office lady, like, you. But it's like, you don't even have good custom. Like, why are you saying what? Why are you saying, huh, what? Like, why are you speaking like that? Like, why don't you say, excuse me, beg your pardon? Excuse me, beg your pardon? Hold on, let me get this toddler away from my car. It's burning up out here. I'm gonna come in the car. No, girl. You need to go in the house with the air on. I don't know what happened to y'all. But yeah, it's like, why would you say what? That's just so rude. So when I hung up the phone, I'm just like, call you back, daddy. My daddy. What's going on? There we go. Only on the phone, never to your face though. Right. Right. So I'm like, why are people so rude? Like, why are people? And it's like, I don't think that she was really trying to be rude. I think, like, because I'm running into this a lot, and I believe because I don't know why I'm becoming more aware of this. I don't know, it's because I'm becoming aware of it, like, with myself. Like, instead of me saying yeah, like, I'm trying to say yes more instead of saying yeah. And so I guess now I'm becoming even more aware of it, how people. But I would say, when I've worked at places, like, even, working in my business, I'll never say yeah. But, when I'm handling business and I'm the customer or the client, I'll say yeah. But I'm trying to, like, work on saying yes, and just having more etiquette. But when I have always been, like, the person, in the customer service position or whatever, like, I'm gonna say yes. excuse me, beg your pardon, or can you repeat that for me, please? I didn't hear you. Like, I'm gonna talk like that. Like, I'm even gonna talk like that, really. Like, if I was talking to you, I'm like, sorry, I didn't hear you. What you say? Can you repeat that? Like, I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna say, huh, what? Like, that's just not the way I speak. It's not the way I talk. And I'm just like, what age do you become to where you say, my phone etiquette is off, my etiquette period is off? Like, I just, I've just observed. So I've just seen so many, like, grown women, not your 18, 19-year-olds, like your 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus women, not with the accent and all that, because we know some people are from down south, and they say honey baby, da da da, not that, but like, just like rude, no etiquette, no elegance about themselves, no womanly etiquette, like very, like, just boisterous, forceful, like, just very a lot. And I'm just like, at what age do you say the way how I had, the way how I have been, like, it's just not working out for me in life. Like, it just hasn't been working out for me well in life. Or I see myself in a different place. I see myself going to eat at different restaurants. I see myself, whatever. And I don't want to ask the waiter, what you say? Like, I want to say, excuse me, beg your pardon. Or if this is a quiet, I see myself getting into a relationship. Maybe this man wants to take me to a quiet place that's got dim lights. And I'm like, oh my God, this food is so good. And it's like, yeah, it's cool, but they don't get down like mama, like how they did back in the day in my grandma's kitchen. And it's like, this ain't the time or the place for you to be acting like that. This is not the time or the place. And I'm sorry, this is a real conversation. This is just a real conversation. It's completely out of love. This ain't code switching or, oh, she wants somebody to act, a different race. This ain't none of that. This is just really saying, it becomes a point in all of our life where we have to learn how to be in different rooms and to shut off the different sides. Not that we have to fake it or whatever, but in this room, if this is a quiet setting, just like how you have an indoor voice, you have an outdoor voice, and all of that, you have a way how you talk to just your family and your friends, and you have a way how you talk professional. Like, there should be different ways that you speak. It should not be a one size fit all thing. Like, it should just not be that. And I'm learning that. I don't know why it's becoming so, like, I'm just seeing it everywhere, and I never seen this before. I never paid attention to people before, but when I never talked to people before like that. And I think, like, this year on my goal was to talk to people more, was to get out of my comfort zone. I know my gas tank on E, and I just got gas yesterday. No, it ain't. This gas tank fluctuate. That's one thing that I cannot wait to get a new car, because my gas head does not work in this car. And so I always like, dang, do I need gas? Do I not? Is it really on full? Is it really on E? And I'm like, okay, when did I put gas in? I hate to have to worry about that. So I'm so ready to eventually get me a new car. But, like, that's what I really just came on live to talk about, is like my experiences of communicating with grown people. The etiquette, the lack thereof, the everything. Like, you could be a good person, and it's like, this is what I'm also, I hate when my nose start itching, y'all. When I'm out here, my nose start itching in this weather. And this is what I'm starting to learn. Well, it's not that I'm starting to learn, it's that I already knew, but I thought that, that's not really the way of things, and I'm starting to learn that people do judge you. based on how you look, based on what you drive, based on how you speak. And it's like we should just really be worried about someone's character, who they are as a person. But unfortunately, that's not realistic. We will hope for that, and hopefully it will become that one day where we will just focus on somebody's character and how Dr. Martin Luther King wanted, that we would judge somebody by the content of their character instead of the color of their skin. Unfortunately, in 2022, we are still in a lot of areas getting judged by the color of our skin. So even when he was saying that, what, in the 1960s or what so have you, wasn't it back then, around that time, about judging someone by character, it's because that was still a real thing, that people were not getting the fair share and judged by their character. So in 2022, with that still going on, we have to know that we are not getting judged by our character. Once someone gets to know you and know the kind of person you are and all of that, yes, they will start liking your character. They will start liking the person that you are, and who the inner person you are, your character. But with first impressions, you're judged by the way you speak, the way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you butt into conversations, the way you talk too loud in quiet places, oh no, don't invite her because she's gonna be so loud. And it's like people don't even know that, oh, you working on that, and you're changing. And so I just really wanted to come on here to say, like, that's something that I've definitely been noticing, in grown adults, is that once we reach a certain age, or it's enough people who validate our lack of self-improvement, we stay at a substandard, we stay beneath of what we could be. We stay being stuck in areas that we no longer want to be in, but we are deciding not to grow as people. And so the areas that we want to go in, or that the stuff that we want to experience, is so much out of our comfort zone, where we feel like we won't be accepted in those areas because of who we are, because we might be a little bit abrasive. Like if you're from the East Coast people talk very aggressive and abrasive, and so if they go into different rooms, they're not meaning to be that way, but that's just the way they grew up. And so they won't go into a lot of rooms. They say, oh, it's too quiet, it's too stuffy, everybody's so polite, everybody's so this. I'm just not a polite person. Like, I'm not rude, I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't want to be around people who's all polite. And it's like, well, what kind of people do you want to be around? People who are very verbally abrasive and abusive and like shocked to your senses. That's like a kind of an invasion of emotional space, for somebody to come and be very abrasive in their verbal communication to you, and you wasn't even expecting it. It's like, ooh, like that's like invisible, like you in my space invisibly, like your voice that came like too strong to me. And so I'm about to get off of here because my allergies and my nose is itching like crazy. But that's the conversation I just wanted to have today. Is I hope everybody is continuing to grow. I have a lot of like people who could be my grandparents who are subscribed to my channel. So if you have been blessed by the grace of God to still wake up today, I don't care if you 60, 70, 80, however old you are. If you wake up today and you say, I don't want to have an argument with nobody today, I don't even want to cuss out, I don't even want to say a cuss word today. I know y'all hear me cuss every single day, and I've been cussing all my life. I've been cussing for 65 years, but today I don't want to cuss. You can make that choice. You don't have to stay the person that you are just because everybody expect for you to be that person. You can change and become better in whatever your better is, and whatever you want to be. And so that's all I wanted to do was come on live here and say, give y'all a couple of real life examples, because I can only teach and express and come on here with some kind of whatever's on my head from real life, what I see, what I learn, what I experience personally, like my perspective. I can only come on here and talk to you guys from my perspective. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to do real quick. So, thank everybody for tuning in, having a conversation with me. Thanks everybody for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate that. Until next time, y'all. Bye.